What's up, everybody? Hope your day's all going great. I've got a video here that I'm hoping can be helpful to a couple people who have their own rigs. They can definitely be a pain, especially for me when I first got it, when the power would go out, which it does quite often here. If you don't know, I live in Buffalo, about 500 feet from Lake Erie, so with all of the open water, those winds can get really cooking, and we get some big windstorms here pretty often. So the power goes out, not frequently, but it goes out quite a bit, I would say. So to combat that, I have this way to get my miner to automatically start back up and get running once the power comes back on. So that way I don't have to worry about it. And if it's still mining or any of that stuff, it just does its own thing. And when the power goes out, as soon as it comes back on, it'll boot itself back up and start mining, and that's that. Okay, so to start this off, you're going to want to open up the mining folders that you have, which for most of you, you'll just have one. I have two because I have both NVIDIA and AMD cards on this rig, so I have to have two separate miners for those. I've got Claymore for the AMD cards, so let's open up that folder. There's a folder inside a folder because those are always fun. And then for this, you have to right click your start.bat file, right click that, and then hit create shortcut. So I will create a shortcut to the folder, and then just click that and drag it to the desktop for now. So we can close this, don't need that open anymore. Then for the second miner, which most of you, as I said, will just have one, so you don't have to worry about doing two of them, because you'll either just have AMD cards or just have the NVIDIA cards. Okay, so then you're going to do the same. The batch file that they use, you're going to right click that, create shortcut, and that's going to create one, and then just drag it to the desktop for easy access. Okay, and now you can close that again. Now to do this, you're going to have to type, let me focus on this here. Hopefully you can see that here. I'll put the keyboard over here in the light a little bit. The Windows key and the R key at the exact same time. So just go like that on there, and it didn't register. It's a wireless keyboard, so try that again. Okay, there we go. And you're gonna get this box here. It's gonna say run on top, and in this box you're gonna want to type, here, I'll focus in here, shell : startup. You can see it right there, and then click OK. Okay, now I did this already. Recording a video.
For what?
For YouTube.
For what?
I'll talk about it in a minute. I'm recording it currently. Okay, so that was my dad. Sorry about that. Now, anyways, I already did this, so I have these two. These two are in the folder already, but you won't. So I'll just delete these. So when you open this up, it'll be completely empty, and then just drag the two shortcuts that you created into the folder. Okay, that's all that you got to do, and then you can close this out. Okay, and now for the final step, you have to restart the machine, and then most boards spam the delete key. It's escape for some, it all depends. You can always look in your motherboard manual, it'll always say how to access the BIOS. Okay, now that we're in here, most of the time it's in the advanced tab. Again, this is different for all boards usually, so it's in advanced for me, and then it's in chipset configuration, and then it'll be called something like restore on AC/power loss. Now on default it will say power off, and then just change that to power on. It's at the bottom there. Power on. So just hit that, and then you're going to want to hit save changes and exit, and because I didn't actually change anything, I'll hit discard, but make sure that you hit save changes, then exit. Okay, and then just click on yes. Then this should be all set, and this just has to boot up, and then the miners should both open, and then after that happens, I'll go over and unplug it to prove to you that after it hits power again, it will start itself back up. So it takes us a minute to start up. It's got an old hard drive in it, so not exactly the fastest of things. But yeah, it's starting up, and then the miners should open themselves up automatically without us having to do anything to it. Sit here and again wait for it to load for a little bit, and there we go. See, they just opened up. We got the one on top here says Claymore, so that's for the AMD cards, and then the one behind it is the NVIDIA card one. So this one's accepting shares, so it's already going, and the Claymore is still connecting and getting all things going. Should start accepting shares here any second. Gotta wait for it to connect to the pool and accept work and all that kind of jazz, and then we'll be up and mining here, and that'll be that. Let's go, Claymore. The other miner was already open. Should open up here. Just give it a second. Come on, you said it's all good and authorized. Why are you not accepting any shares? This one over here is good. I don't know what this one's doing. Come on, I don't got all day. They just sit around and wait for you to decide if you want to do work or not. No, you're gonna do this. And okay, so this one, for some reason, the miner opened and everything. It's just decided to be a pain. I've tested this before, and it almost always works. Just GPU miners, if you have one, you'll know that they can be a pain. So I'll just try to reopen this, and the whole miner itself is not responding. Oh, okay, there we go. So just open that up, and it should open itself. The one did. This one just decided not to for some reason. But we can always do it manually, and I have TeamViewer installed on this rig, so if the power does go out, I can always just go in there and do it this way. But it should always work. You should just get flukes where it just sometimes won't. These miners are just inherently not super stable, and that can depend on the GPU drivers that you have and if it's compatible with everything. And now it doesn't even want to open when I do it this way. Not sure why it got farther the other time. Now it's just like, nope, cannot do that. So, of course, typical GPU miners having problems. Alright, come on, third time's a charm, right? Yes, so far. Come on, total cards too. It's getting there. It gets a little bit farther each time, it would appear. Alright, so now it's accepting shares and everything. So that's just a problem with the miner itself, not the method that I use to do it. So yeah, so hopefully that'll be fixed in the future. We'll have to see, because this one opened completely fine, just the other one didn't. Okay, so now for the complete test, and hopefully this one completely works, I'm going to walk over here where I've got an extension cord plugged in the wall over here. So the computer is plugged into this cord right here. Here you can, the screen's still on over there. And then I'm going to unplug this and show you the screen is now off. See, it's completely off now. So this is like if the power went out, and now I'll simulate it coming back on. I'll plug that back in and walk back over to the computer here. While, see, the computer turned itself back on by itself. I didn't have to hit buttons or anything. It just automatically booted back up like it's supposed to. And just wait for it to post here. As I said, it's got, the hard drive in it isn't crazy slow, but it's not that fast either. Just wait for it to start back up. And once that happens, the miner should open and we'll be up and making that money again, you know? So hopefully they successfully open this time. But even if they don't, you can always use something like TeamViewer or something to open them, because the computer will always turn back on. Okay, so the windows both open. Let's see how Claymore does this time. I'll put my phone in, it's getting a bit low on battery. Okay, total cars 2, or cars not cards. Alright, so Claymore appears to be good. Let me just make sure that it says shares accepted and stuff, and I'm very OCD about this. This one has to be in the corner right about there, and this miner has to be exactly in the corner right there. Okay, so there's how to get your rig to automatically turn back on and have the miners open up after the power goes out. So yeah, that's about it. I hope it was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.